Alright, so here we are at part 2 of our changing of the tire and trying out this new grease, okay, on this first gen Yamaha Venture, but it sort of apply to all touring bikes, especially shaft drive. Alright, so here's what we got going now. Like I mentioned earlier, here's what happens. See this? This is that inside gear that I was talking about, and this is bone dry right now, alright? And as you can see, all of my grease wound up out here, snuck out from underneath the seal, alright? And it was a good seal. I have no... this is a typical what happens scenario, alright? So that's dry. Now I want to show you something else beyond that even. Ugh. Boy, it's hot out. It's like 87 right now, and I don't know, 78% humidity or something, so it's kind of warmer. Okay, kind of warmer. Okay, these are those drive splines. Alright, now this is the matching gear. Alright. This is the matching gear to that one I was just showing you over there. Dry. Alright, now here's a even worse scenario in my opinion. One of the, well, almost as bad scenario, I should say. If you'll notice, these pins are not just bone dry, but they've actually got rust formed back on them, okay? Yes, I do ride in the rain, and I do ride high speed in the rain. I'm kind of a oddball that way. I don't just stop riding because it's raining, okay? So they have gotten wet since I put this new tire. This is that new tire that I put on. Shinko Tourmaster 230 that I put on earlier this year to go out to Ontario and back and up to the bridge and all that kind of stuff. 5,000, what did I say? 5,930 some miles on it, I guess it was. So 6,000 miles, and that tire is shot. You can see. And these were fresh greased. I took it all apart. There's another video, I think I've got it online of earlier this year, where I showed greasing these splines, the splines and the pins, okay? And like I was saying earlier, I've used a variety of mollies, lithiums, on and on and on, heavy duty greases. Because I got a friend that worked for an oil company that got me all this stuff, and I really trusted him. But this is really commonplace that I have found for this scenario, okay? Change a tire, 6,000 miles, 4 to 6,000 miles, take them apart, and the gears and the pins are dry again. So I re-grease them, alright? Now, like I said, now we're going to put on this new Dunlop that's supposed to be a 20,000 mile tire plus. Dunlop advertises 6 times back and forth across the country, coast to coast, and I'm looking for just one summer of usage there and back again to the west coast and back here again without having to swap a tire, which I normally do. All right, and again, watch part 1. This is part 2. Okay, but in stepping off to test this, I spent the big money, got the Elite 4 multi-compound tire, but it dawned on me that this right here, what I'm showing you now, could be an issue, okay? And kind of like what that guy's, I don't know why these guys with these diesel trucks and stuff think they're so cool with them being loud. They sound terrible. They aren't a Harley. Anyway, so these pins are dry, exactly what I was telling you before. Now, the problem with going with a high mileage, if this thing really is capable of that 6 times back and forth across, those pins and those gears are going to be not just bone dry, but wearing dry. So I decided to try a different, this is what we're going to do, try a different grease. So I said something totally out of the, I was looking for the old, I don't know, probably nobody out there remembers this, but I do. When I was a kid, my dad had this white grease sitting in the garage, and it was like chewing gum on a hot day. It was that sticky, okay? And that's what I went in and told the guys out of Riley's that I'm looking for. And those younger guys had no clue about the white stuff, but they're like, they had this stuff. Lucas red and tacky, high temperature, 540 degree drop point. Means it stays together, sticky, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to try this stuff on the pins and on those gears, okay? And we're going to see, we're going to give it a test. I'll document how many miles we get on the tire. It's going to be running hot temperature out where the touring bikes love to roam, out there on the desert floor at 110, 115 degrees. I don't know how hot the tarmac gets out there, but it gets real frying egg hot. And anyway, we're going to give this a test. Both the tire and the grease. Get it? Do you get it? And then I'll report back and we'll see what happens. I also told the guys at O'Reilly I'd let them know how this stuff works. All right? We're going to find out whether or not Lucas is straight up and whether or not Dunlop is straight up. We'll find out. Hey, get out and ride. Oh, this was part 2. Stay tuned for